slaves. All children are to be slaves. If a woman says something against her husband, she is to be beheaded. End of sentence. Is that a peaceful law? I don't think so. According to the Quran, and I've said it several times in Quran 54, all infidels must die. That means Christians. And the word Christian and Jews are mentioned in what I'm saying. Christians and Jews, those who do not believe in the occult group Islamic State of Muslims. And you notice I do change it to occult group right away, because I catch myself saying the wrong words, just about. So, and you don't have to be a Christian or a Jew to lose your head. They will lop it off. And I do say lop it off because that's what beheading is lop it off. It means that. They believe in this so much that they want to introduce this idea into the public school system. They actually got Hillary Clinton, and this is what Hillary Clinton states. And believe me, I'm not wrong on this because I got several sites that could prove it. States that a child in the public school system must take an allegiance to the occult group called the Islamic State of Muslims so that there would be peace. You notice I said the word peace, where everybody would agree with everybody, and there would be tolerance and diversity. That is exactly what she states. Tolerance and diversity towards those who want to kill you. That's what she wants to promote in the public school system. She also says that being a Christian in the public school system is an offense and a crime because they want to pray to God, a real God, the true God, not the black rock like the Muslims like, called Allah. Yes, the word Allah in Aramaic and in the Muslim world means God. But that's a small g. I'm talking about the big G, the one that created the heavens and the earth. So, in reality, what I stated as the title of this program, Hillary Clinton wants to have terrorists in the United States of America, is all 100% truth. I got many sites that could prove this. Her speech today, she does not condemn terrorism in the United States of America. Oh, she doesn't want to see it happen. That's not condemning it. She doesn't want to do anything to even go up against the terrorists. That's her foreign policy, by the way. Let's be nice, let's act nice to them, maybe they'll go away. And we won't torture them. I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to say it this much. I've been in the military. And I'm going to say it this much. In order to get any idea about your enemy's strong points, use torture. Read their books, by the way. That's a great indicator. And there is no such thing as a lone wolf when it comes to the occult group Islamic State of Muslims, especially ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and the Taliban, and every other Muslim group out there, including the Kurds. They may act like our friends, some of them. No, they're our real enemies. When I go to a store and see those that are, believe it or not, from the occult group Islamic State of Muslims owning and running that store, I don't buy a thing. Even though it might be cheaper. I leave the store. Because I do not want to be friends with a person that believes in the occult group who could, possibility, cut off my head. I wouldn't want to be that friend. And yes, that is true love towards my enemy, because this way I'm not being afraid of my enemy. I'm just confronting them and saying, I don't want to shop here because you own the store. I don't want to give you your money to bomb people, to make bombs. I don't want to do that. Because you might just say part of the money that you spend, after all the taxes are paid and everything else, the net income, I would almost venture that that money that's donated by that Muslim goes towards making that bomb. I'm not hating that enemy personally. Or that human being personally. The idea of, I am hating the idea of the occult group Islamic State of Muslim. In other words, I would ask those people to get out of that occult group and go into Christianity. Or even think about it or look at it. I have many that are friends of mine that were in, at one time, the occult group Islamic State of Muslims. And you know what they tell me? The word occult group is exactly what it means here. And it is exactly how you describe the Islamic State of Muslims. They're Christians today. Trust me, one of them wrote and translated the Quran into English, and this man stood up and is now living in the United States of America. Yes, he is a Baptist minister, by the way. And guess what? He tells the truth. Usama Dekta is his man's name. Understand exactly what this man talks about is true. He gives out warnings on top of warnings. He's actually one of my sources, by the way. So if you want to look it up, you can look at Usama Dekta, and he is a Baptist minister now. I also know another man that used to be one. He's also a Lutheran minister. I can't remember his name, but he's now a Lutheran minister. There was a lot of questionability about having him go through seminary and becoming a Lutheran minister because of his background as a person of the occult group Islamic State of Muslims. But he was able to prove it. Nobody asked him to prove it, but he was able to prove it. Prove that he is a true Christian, a true believer. Well, here's the other thing. And yes, it's good to allow those type of people in the United States of America. I'm not saying keep all the Muslims out, but I would sort them out. If you believe in Christianity, I would question it, because in the Quran it does say that they are allowed to lie to protect themselves. But here's the thing I would do. If you want to come into my country, the United States of America, prove that you are going to renounce being a member of the occult group Islamic State of Muslims. I don't care if you become a non-Christian that way. But once you take that threat away and give them this, make them take it as a loyalty oath. There used to be one when our forefathers came in here through Ellis Island, believe it or not. But the thing of it is, this way we could control our borders. We built a wall, and we built the wall, it's an imaginary built wall actually, by coming up with these ideas. Hillary Clinton says, allow them all in. Let's get rid of sovereignty here in the United States of America and allow the occult group Islamic State of Muslims, especially ISIS and the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, to come in to take over the United States of America. You see, the key point here is we've seen this stuff in world history prior to 2016. We've seen where people like Hillary Clinton were saying, okay, come on in. It's okay. Let me give you a point in history where another terrorist terrorized the world. He was a socialist. His name was Adolf Hitler. If you remember your history, I can't think of his name right now, but he was a man that came in, negotiated with Adolf Hitler, and allowed Adolf Hitler to take the Sudetenland freely. That's Czechoslovakia, by the way, and annex it into Germany to be part of Germany so Adolf Hitler could get his fantasy out to take over the world. And the Muslims want to do the same thing, believe it or not. They just wanted to use terrorism in order to get people to say, okay, we'll allow you to take over, we'll allow you to be head. That's what Hillary Clinton is saying. We'll allow you to be head, and we'll allow you to kill Americans. Only if you allow certain things to happen. Remember what I said about Hillary Clinton saying that every child in the public school system across the United States of America has to take a loyalty oath to the occult group, the Muslims, or Islamic State of Muslims? And I have to say Islamic State because Islam is the occult group Muslims. I say it the way I do so that people would understand that there is no difference. There is no difference between one that says, well, I don't believe in cutting people's heads off, but I want to pray to my black rock. No, they do not. They don't want to get rid of something, even if they love humanity. Here's the thing. God said it best. You got a choice to make. Either to serve your faith or you either serve one master or serve the other master. You cannot serve both. You cannot love the one and hate the other. And you cannot hate the one and love the other. That came from Christ. Yes, God does point us to these facts. You cannot say, serve, and pray to your black rock as a Muslim would do, and say, I don't like to behead people. That's a lie. If you serve a black rock, you do love to behead people. You can't go either way. You can't be like some people are thinking, and thinking that presidential candidate Donald Trump for the Republican Party, who used to be a liberal, is now wanting to serve the Republican Party. I can't. Personally, if he wants to be a Republican and be a conservative, personally, I think he should wait before he runs to be president of the United States of America. But I also say, okay, maybe he saw the light in being a good conservative, and he's converted. Because we could go along and say, that Jesus